Summit this Wednesday. It is called Advancing Behavioral Health Summit. And we welcome from Drug Free Jackson, Rebecca Calkins, and from Big Brothers Big Sisters, Andrea Parshall. Welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
So Drug Free Jackson, it's a group of interested parties.
Right. Like-minded individuals hoping to reduce substance use in Jackson County.
And we've got all these new dangers like the fentanyl.
Yes.
Huge crisis right now.
Right, yes. It's really difficult and with all the things that are coming in, but we have Narcan available, and I think one of its most important things is now available in vending machines at the Jackson County Jail, and then recently Family Service and Children's Aid just got a vending machine. So
Oh, nice.
a lot of funding for Narcan to help reverse those fentanyl overdoses.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's a miracle. It works.
It really is.
So, mental health. A lot of mental health for many years was drug treated,
Right.
and I think you've been in behavioral health for a long time.
Yes.
You want and you hope that mental health gets away from reliance on drug treatment.
Well, not necessarily. Absolutely, there are prescription drugs that can help with mental illness, but the idea is the stigma behind it. I think that I really struggle with is I really want people to see them as a whole person. Anyone with a mental health diagnosis or anyone with a substance use diagnosis, they're a whole person. They're a person first, and they're struggling with something that is a disease. It's not just a moral failing or something that we often put a lot of stigma and shame around those diagnoses, but it's a disease, and it's a treatable disease as well, and building empathy in the community towards these people and helping them to get the help that they need.
Right. So it's really there's several stigmas with this. One,
Yes.
that you have mental health.
Yes.
Two, that you might be drugged up.
Yeah,
Right.
have an addiction problem.
Yeah. And what's the Big Brothers Big Sisters connection to Drug Free Jackson and the summit?
Yes. So, as you know, Big Brothers Big Sisters works with youth. And so Drug Free Jackson allows us at Big Brothers Big Sisters ways that we know what the youth are getting their hands on, what is happening in the youth's lives, and then also gives us different tricks and tips and pointers and coping skills in order to prevent the first use in youth. So that is my role as Big Brothers Big Sisters sitting on Drug Free Jackson, is to help prevent first use. And what we're seeing is first use is coming in fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade is first use of alcohol, marijuana, and some surprisingly other
Nicotine,
drugs.
of course. Vaping issues are huge right now.
Oh, vaping, yeah.
Yes.
And the
So-
availability of edibles.
Yes.
That is difficult too, and we're not saying if you're 21 and over, of course it's legal, but the idea is that you need to wait till you're 21. Your brain is still developing.
Yeah.
You're more likely to have an addiction to these substances if you start before the age of 21. So we want everyone to wait until 21, and if you do have the edibles or legal marijuana, lock it up. Get it away from your children so that they're not able to get into it at a younger
Right.
age.
And some of the edibles, they've got names like Fruit Loops.
Right.
And there's marijuana dispensaries with names like Cookies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And same with vaping. It's clearly targeted. They know what they're getting there, where they're targeting their things. So it makes our job difficult, but not impossible to really help children understand that vaping, whether it's nicotine or marijuana, needs to be for 21 and older.
All right,
So
so this
one
summit,
of the biggest misconceptions among youth is that using nicotine or marijuana or alcohol helps reduce stress and anxiety and depression, and actually it's the opposite. If you're using those substances, you're not learning coping skills and you're not learning to listen to your body, so that you're becoming stuck in the cycle of addiction, which is a disease, and that's happening earlier and earlier. So it's really important to say, okay, you have anxiety, let's look at anxiety without putting a substance on it.
yeah. And in some of those cases, it's paranoia inducing.
Yes.
Now,
Very
you've
much
got several of these topics for this
Yes.
behavioral health summit. Like what?
Yes, so a lot of different populations we're focusing on. So there's a breakout on prisoner reentry, on veterans, the LGBTQ community, how to talk to your youth about how to have these conversations, as well as how to talk to older adults about these conversations. So this summit is for anyone that's professionally working with those communities, as well as parents and caregivers.
So anyone,
Yeah.
Of course.
just the general public too.
Exactly.
Is there
Exactly.
a cost? or
Yes, so it
anything?
is $25. That covers your breakfast, lunch, and then CEUs. And we have social work CEUs, prevention McBAPs, and teaching sketches available.
Who's conducting the various topics and sessions?
So there are some Lifeways employees, some Henry Ford employees, and some VA employees. We have some, those are some of the people that are also on our planning committee, so we had those connections. Just community people that have these expertise. You know, sometimes an expert is from someone from out of town that can share a different perspective. So there's a lot of different presenters that you can find on our website, drugfreejackson.com/summit.
Yeah, and veterans is a population that specifically we know that there are a lot of these types of
Yes.
issues.
Absolutely.
If someone, it's only 2 days away, so
I know.
you can
Get on it.
you can still register.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
yeah, to the end of till 5 o'clock tomorrow, I'm closing it up. So go ahead and get on there and register. And yeah, it'll be a great event. A lot of learning opportunities.
And it's happening. Where's it being
Oh
held?
yes, so at Lifeways meeting rooms. That's the other piece. So yes, the meeting rooms are around the back of the Lifeways building. You'll see admin or meeting room entrance up there. So you're gonna drive around back. There's plenty of parking back there.
Right.
So at Lifeways on West Ave.
And Andrea, would you encourage bigs or bigs to be to
Yes.
attend?
Yes, this is a really cool space for professionals of any level, community members, anyone to come together and kind of talk together about the problem in our community. So it's a really good space. You'll learn a lot. If you're entry level or if you know nothing, you're going to learn a lot. And if you already feel like you're an expert, you're still going to learn some.
Yeah.
And the continuing education credits, those are for people who,
Yep. Social work, prevention, and teaching.
nice. And you need to register by, what's the deadline?
Tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
Tomorrow, 5
Closing it
o'clock. Great.
Oh, and thank you to our sponsors as well. So American One Credit Union, AOS, Lifeways, Home and New Vision, Midstate Health Network, and then Center for Family Health just sponsored as well.
Scan the QR code or visit drugfreejackson.com. Appreciate you guys putting this event on and for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From Drug Free Jackson, Rebecca Calkins and Andrea Partial. We've got